Okay, we'll call the policy committee to order. And I need approval for the May 18th.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Policies for first reading are AFB, evaluation of the superintendent, and AFB-E, superintendent evaluation. Anybody want to say anything about those? No? That's just for first reading. Did we move that to the board for first reading at this time?
I make a motion that we move the two policies to the board for first reading.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
No.
What?
So, Kyle, I don't know if I addressed this with you, but some of the sections were left out at the, when we were given to the board. Is there a way, because it moved to a Google sheet, correct? Do we know if they've aligned?
So there was an amendment Sherry sent out, so the last section was included last minute, so she'll just merge the two forms next year.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't, thank you.
Shane?
I thought we were doing away with this evaluation, doing the,
No.
No, it's in addition.
So this is still the policy, this evaluation is in there, we have 360 feedback over the summer. So they're two separate. At some point, after we need to probably look at the evaluation itself, I think, and we talked about that's a separate endeavor, separate committee to look at those, just that form.
because a lot of these questions on here, we can't answer.
And that's the purpose of the
That's the
360.
purpose of the feedback, to have that feedback, but yet at the same point, we don't have firsthand experience, so
Correct.
to your point. So that would be, the evaluation committee was tasked with his evaluation and doing the 360 feedback. If we want to do this as a board and have this discussion from this committee to do it something different, let's get through
Okay.
let's get through the 360 feedback process underway,
All right.
and then we can tackle that. We just think we try to tackle too much at once, we could
No,
miss
I agree.
something, if that makes sense.
Sounds good.
So I know it's a lengthy process, we all have to do in November.
Good.
Okay, that's discussion, we have a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Policies for second reading, JED, student absences and excuses, major changes.
So as they spoke about tonight, the importance of attendance and, you know, when we were going through COVID, we didn't want sick people coming to school. And I think that caused a little bit of confusion for some families about what's excused, what's unexcused. And they kind of felt that, you know, if I said my student was staying home, it's excused, that doesn't count towards it. And so we're trying to simplify the process about what is documented and what is undocumented, so there's less choices and not as much confusion.
Any questions? No.
I'll just make a motion to accept, or to move for a second reading and adoption to the full board, JED.
Any other discussion? Karen?
So can I just want to clarify, because maybe I just misunderstood something. So if a student is absent, they get a phone call home, but then we're getting rid of the 5 unexcused absences, so then once they get 10 undocumented truancy absences,
Letters.
a letter, so we're not doing anything with the 5, we're just calling home every day?
Right.
Okay.
And it's not, and it's not excused just by a parent calling and saying, no, my kid's sick. No
Nope.
longer excused. They need
It's
doctors.
documented, it
Correct.
explains under the document, there's 5.
There's a list of 5 reasons you can document. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Oh, sorry.
This is not your committee.
Oh, sorry.
Save it for the full board.
I think that's all silliness to have separate committees, but nevertheless, you're right, I'm not on this.
It will come to the full board, and you will have your chance
I'll
to say
vote my
no.
chance to vote no there, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. 5-year plan. Sounds like the superintendent evaluation should be a 5-year process.
Pretty much what we did.
I know.
But, you know, it's just not, you can't drop one and implement something else,
Correct.
because something's gonna get missed, so.
Yeah, so we've highlighted the process of maybe training from the NHSBA, so that would be maybe an engagement over the summer to figure out when we can do that in the fall or over the winter. Maybe it would actually make sense where election season's coming up, that we should after, if there's changes in board or even the same board in place, that we have that training in place.
Training from NH.
Because there might be new committee assignments or something at that point, so that might make sense.
Didn't we also talk at the last full board about potentially getting a committee to go over some of the questions that are asked on this? Or am I wrong?
What we talked about is our survey will happen, are you talking about the 5-year survey questions that we have?
I thought previously we had talked about some of these questions, we just didn't think were appropriate. So I thought Paul had mentioned, or our chair had mentioned.
Are you talking about the evaluation?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're on 5-year.
We're on 5-year.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Scratch that then.
yeah, the only thing we can add to, if this committee wants, we can add in parking lot, future discussion on the evaluation process with superintendent.
I mean, that sounds like the place it should
You're
be.
doing that, so it would just be a parking lot item for a future.
So maybe we're looking at the fall for a training on policy from the
Yeah, I think
association?
we'll have to reach out to Barrett, Christina, maybe we can do that over, we'll talk about it at the 26th when the 5-year meets. About how to act upon some of these things. And we just have to reach out to Barrett and see what the options are, and then we have to make a decision, do we do it in the fall or wait till after elections? And then maybe committees, assignments change, you know? So,
Anyone else have any other things on 5-year training? I wasn't skipping to other. Sarah?
So just to clarify, we just added under parking lot, a superintendent evaluation committee to review questions in the fall. Those questions that are hard to answer, we can't really answer, right?
it was just not
A
a
separate
evaluation committee, it was just a review of the superintendent evaluation.
Done by
The
policy
tool-
committee
the
or
tool.
subcommittee?
This would start here in policy,
Okay.
and then the conversation would be, it can be a ad hoc committee that reports to policy, it could be the committee, whatever's decided at that time. But I wouldn't wanna hold that, what has to happen today on that document, just say evaluation. We've likely talked about it, we just never documented it.
When we have more information from the 360, I think we can.
Yeah, we can
I think we
discuss.
can see that and how it works.
We just wanna evolve a step at a
Go
time.
on with this policy. Okay. Anyone else have anything for 5 years? Oh, comments open and closed? Anything under other? Yeah.
Ms. Seaver, is this your last time with us?
I'm not going anywhere, I'm
Well-
just gonna be right across town and you'll see me every full board meeting.
Very
This-
good.
But this might be the last time you keep me, this late talking about policy.
You're always welcome to
Yeah.
stay.
So thank you for enjoying the circus with us.
Oh,
We
I
do
got
appreciate it.
I've enjoyed the learning
You'll be
process,
missed.
thank you too. Thanks.
We're gonna-
Ms. Grassi,
Yes,
in the past, instruction, special services, and policy committees have not met in July. Do we feel we should meet this July? Or-
No.
Tell us how you really feel.
So that's one board member's.
Oh, yes.
It's
Just kidding.
I don't know, what should we do? What,
Are there any policies that we feel are important for September?
They're always important.
The laws come out usually July, August. like-
Yeah.
Like law
Yep.
changes.
No, I think we've tracked all the ones that changed that were required by law this year, so we're up to speed. And then exactly what Sarah
July
just said.
1st, they'll be-
They don't come out
And then
until
July.
that, so you really wouldn't have anything.
we kind of got to give the school board association a few minutes to
Yeah.
digest it?
August would be appropriate.
What?
August would probably be an appropriate one with the new assistant superintendent coming in to
Yes,
prior to.
Right.
the
We
school year.
just not meet in,
yeah.
So that'd be for all 3 committees.
all 3 committees not meet in July?
I'm good with that. I'm fine. Everyone else?
There'll be no bus information.
Yeah, you won't have nearly the.
You'll have enrollment will
You'll
be.
just come to say.
Enrollment
no.
data, same.
That's true.
Miss Grassy, Mrs. Grassy, I'll send an email to Sherry to update the school board meeting.
Okay.
List.
Oh, the list?
Yep.
Sure.
Great.
Do you need a motion to adjourn? Because I'll do it.
Well, eventually.
Motion to adjourn?
I already said it.
Oh, you asked a question.
I said I'll do it.
I'll second it.
You know what?
All
You're all
those in favor?
invited, personnel and
Coming next
It's a
month.
non-debatable motion, guys.
Wait,
Stop.
wait.
I motion, just to let you know.
You haven't officially ended the meeting yet.
All those in favor?
I voted aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
You said it, but no one stood up.
Yeah.